Today, everybody, so hang with us here. Here we go. Hello, everybody. Welcome to a very special version of PTZOptics Live. Tess is here with me.
Hi, how you guys doing? Tell me in the chat.
We have a live YouTube set up here, so all the chat room is just coming up right there, which I thought would be a nice addition to this live look at Infocom, actually. We are bringing you right to Infocom. You can see here at our booth, it's a 60 by 20 booth, the largest booth we've ever had. And we've partnered up with HSI Immersive. They're showing 3D LED displays, and just look at the people there, just complete. Looks like there's some park rangers there.
Yeah, we've been streaming every day of Infocom, and
there's Tim.
Oh snap!
Hey,
we got a special
Tim,
visitor.
We can see you. And there's Dan from X Keys. Oh my gosh.
Tim from vMix and Dan from X Keys.
Hopefully they can see us now.
That's what's so fun about Infocom, just the
it's
surprise visitors that stop
so
by.
So I think that we might even get a chance to interview these guys.
I hope so.
It's kind of fun to just let's like make them. Look. We've got you on camera. All right, we won't play with you guys too much, but he's got the vMix pad, the vMix mouse pad. All right, well, we won't mess with him too much. So Tess, why don't you go ahead and show us your X keys really quickly that you have set up here.
Finally have them in action.
Can we?
I got my new picture. Dan was sweet enough to
gosh.
send me a picture because I was joking about the other one I had before. And here's Paul. You guys might remember my stinger, the lightning round, the chat, the giveaway, and some fun other keys that they provide with you when you purchase one of these guys. We just made a video on this that just went out earlier today about how you can set this to have PTZOptics camera control through vMix. And we're also using our brand new USB 2 Air with this. So just to delete the wires, it's wirelessly transmitting the signal from our PC right here to my studio.
Delete the wires. I like that.
That's as layman's terms as it can be. I don't know.
So
if you want simplicity, you can come to this girl.
If you want to delete your wires, come on over.
I set it up myself. I just don't know the terminology.
No, that's great. So I'm hoping that we're going to get a little bit of a look at this is our three-person look here, and it looks like we've got Pat there, we've got Dan from X Keys, and we have Tim from vMix, all at.
Everybody in the chat saying hi.
And I know there's a microphone over there, guys. So don't pretend like there's no microphone.
Somebody put a microphone on you and headphones.
There we go.
There we go.
I think it's fine if you want to.
Oh my gosh. Just okay, here we go. So they can hear
here
us.
we go.
Hey,
Hi,
Tim.
Hey, how's it going? Can you hear me?
Great.
Yes.
Yep, we can hear you.
Yeah, I'm just hanging out with Patrick here. He's our party liaison, so we're just organising what we're supposed to be doing down here. Yeah. How you guys doing?
Not bad. Beautiful weather here in Philadelphia.
Yeah, thanks for stopping by our booth. What does vMix have going on at Infocom?
We're hanging out with the X Keys guys in 867, I think. I don't know, yeah. Something like that. So we're hanging out with X Keys, and they've kind of got a setup with some vMix stuff, and they've got all of their keys. We're trying to get rid of all of our mouse pads, so if anyone's at Infocom
send
and they
some
want free
home
mouse
for
pads,
me. I don't have one yet.
Oh, okay. Well, we'll send some through, and yeah. So it's pretty crazy. You guys have got a lot happening this year. At this booth, it's massive. You've got all this stuff happening. I don't know whether you've covered all of your immersive screens and stuff, but that's crazy.
Have you tried them out
coming down
with
there.
the glasses?
I have, yeah.
What'd you think?
Very cool. So it was cool. Like, I mean, yeah. I've never experienced a giant 3D wall before, but yeah, now I have. It's very cool. There's so much crazy stuff down here that we don't see very often. So I've kind of everybody at the booth is talking about this like sensory overload. There's just so much stuff going on, and yeah, it's kind of a lot to take in.
Great.
But yeah.
Awesome. Yeah.
What's going on in PA?
Well, we missed StreamCon, so you get to do everything fun. You get to do StreamCon, you get to do Infocom,
NAB.
NAB.
Yeah, I'm a seasoned world traveler or something like that. So
Yeah. Speaking of
I'm
X
trying to hang in
keys,
there.
we were just setting
Yeah,
up.
I'm gonna-
Sorry, go ahead.
No, do you want me to pass you over to Dan? You can have a chat to him about X keys.
Yeah.
While we're here.
Yeah, why
Here
not?
you go.
Sure,
He's
absolutely.
been begging to get on a live stream. I said that to when I talked to Pat at StreamCon. I'm like, man, you're just clamoring to be on a live stream, and now he's big chance. So Pat's walked away. So Dan's chance
He's a little
to,
afraid.
to
Camera
say
shy.
something to you. Yeah. So I'll quickly pass it over. So
All right.
here's Dan.
Good to see you, Tim.
Thank you,
Thanks
Tim.
for joining. Hi, Dan.
What have I got
Hi.
here? Hey, Paul. Hi, Tess.
Hi. How are
I saw
you?
Good. I saw you flashing that X keys earlier. Thanks.
Yeah, of
I see you got the
course.
keys we made for you.
Yes, we did. I appreciate that, and we had fun just setting it up with our USB 2 Air.
Yeah, Tess, can we look at that
Nice.
one more time here so we can show that off?
So this is what I have
Let's
so
see that.
far, and this is my basic setup, but I wanted to make sure I had camera control, pan, tilt, and zoom functions, which can be done through vMix, so that was pretty cool. We're sort of having everything integrating together. We have vMix with USB 2 Air with the X keys and the PTZOptics camera, so it's kind of just this ultimate setup here.
Nice. I have a similar demo going here at Infocom. We've got the PTZ keys controlling your 20x USB camera in our booth. Same deal. We have, pan, then tilt on it and zoom in and out right from the same mixing board that we're switching video and audio. It's really nice.
Yeah, I
Can
love you can
plug
do
up,
that.
Something here.
Yeah.
We're showing a design for a new instant replay controller that we're working on.
Oh, wow.
I have that upside down. So let's try it that way.
I don't know if Jim can ask Jim to zoom into it for you with the camera, or you could just old-fashioned just move it closer
Jim.
to the camera.
Yeah, there we go.
There we go.
So
Wow.
that's
So
the
it's got a
layout we're
dial.
looking at.
Oh, what is that
Yeah,
dial in
jog
the
and
bottom left?
It's your standard jog and shuttle, shuttle ring and a jog dial, and then a T-bar up in the corner, which could be used for speed control. So it's your basic instant replay layout, and I'm hoping to have a working version of this by NAB 2018. But I'm
Beautiful.
glad I could share that with you guys.
Yeah.
What do you think about Infocom this year? Was there anything crazy exciting over there that is notable?
We've been really busy. I barely made it out of the booth. I came down here a couple
That's
of
always
times
good.
to see what was happening in your booth. Yeah, that is always good. And it's been great hanging with Tim and showing everybody the super integration we have between PTZOptics camera and the X keys, and all coming together in vMix. Been a lot of excitement about that. A lot of people who hadn't thought about it before, just hadn't seen it before. So that's always cool to see.
Yeah, that's part of
How's
what's so
everything
great
back
about
there?
this business. Uh-oh.
Well, we're just trying to be creative over here. We just released a video showing the X keys doing, like as Tess said, with the IP control and vMix and the USB 2 Air. So that we've been getting a lot of questions about that. And I think the trickiest thing for some people is to realize that the button press is one thing and the button release is another. So we just decided to do a tutorial on it.
Just
to
a very
clear up.
basic setup tutorial. And it was helpful for me because I'm learning how to use them myself. So it was good.
Right. Good. Yeah, that's cool.
Now,
You wanna
Rudy
talk
is
to anybody
actually.
else here? What? Go
But
ahead.
before you go, Rudy is asking
Yeah.
you if the XK12 joystick can that control a pan tilt zoom camera in vMix?
Hey, Chris.
It can do pan and tilt. Zoom, you may have tested this,
good. How
Paul,
about
I'm not
you?
sure, but our
Oh, no,
joystick
actually,
does not return to
I'll
center,
get you up next.
so that's problematic when you're trying to use it for a zoom control.
Gotcha.
But yeah, we can pan and tilt all day long.
So how'd the show go for you?
So you can have buttons for
Gotta
pan
put-
and tilt.
Put the 3D glass.
Or
on.
zoom,
You can have
I'm
buttons
sorry.
for pan and tilt. Yeah, you could have buttons for zoom. So on my panel back in the booth, I've got 6 buttons, one for each direction of pan and tilt, and the zoom in and zoom out. And you could do a lot with that. Plus, of course, with vMix, once you have the camera in the position you want, you could just set a preset for that spot,
Yes.
and you could assign that to an X key. So bam, that's where you are.
Sounds awesome. Well, is there anything new and exciting that people
That's
should know
crazy.
about coming from X-Keys and Infocom?
I just showed you the little prototype that we're showing. We've
Yep.
been playing with a few DMX controls
all done
and
over
talking
there?
to the guys at vMix about possibly doing some way to integrate between what's happening in vMix and sending DMX commands for lighting. So that'd be kind of neat.
Cool. So DMX, how is that different than activators?
Well, DMX is kind of a standard lighting protocol. So we can send a message out to an inexpensive DMX box to switch lights on and off,
This is the one
or do like
we're using
RGB control.
over here, this
on,
thing called
you know,
vMix
that
Call.
kind
Have you
of
heard
thing.
about it?
Yeah, DMX
It
is
works
a standard
really
in the
easy.
lighting industry
Basically, it
and
connects
with like
two
theater
systems
controls.
together using WebRTC.
We can hear Jim crystal clear. I think Jim's wearing a lapel microphone that's
It's so
on.
darn easy to set this up.
We're hearing
Jim
we're hearing
wearing
his
a
sales
lapel?
tactics.
Oh, sorry.
They hear you. Yep.
Sorry,
Jim, well, we have you now.
Oh no.
I hope he wasn't bad mouthing you or anything, Paul.
Yeah,
He
it was-
usually turns his mic off before he does that here.
Paul, my computer just died. I wasn't paying attention.
Forgot to plug it in.
Yeah, yeah.
My people in
Tim,
the
was there
chat.
anything
I'm
really cool at
sad.
InfoCom?
Visca
Yes.
There was something called a huddle cam
Ha!
that I saw. I'd never seen anything like it.
Oh, do you want me to just talk? I can't hear anything, but sure. Well, I've never been on the receiving end of one of these live streams, so now I have. I haven't really had much of a chance to look at everything, so we've kind of been hanging out with X-Keys, and
Yeah.
I've wandered over here a few times just to annoy Pat and Matt and everybody else. And
Tim, I
these
always
guys,
love
so-
seeing you on vMix Fun Time, and I have to say it because I feel like you're me on the other end. It's like
Okay.
you to Martin is me to Paul.
right, okay.
So I
I'll
just
take that. You know, no offense, Paul, but yeah, I'll take that. It's totally fine. Yeah, but no, it's been interesting to kind of talk to different partners and different camera manufacturers and stuff. And I'm kind of falling apart because I'm still not sleeping all that well. But yeah, it's good to be in the States, and yeah, sunny Orlando. It's been a fun time over here in Florida. So
you guys are regulars
be home.
lately over here in the U.S.
yeah, well, it's the place to be, right? So hopefully at some point we'll get to Pennsylvania or wherever you guys are, and I think we'll be back for New York, NAB New York. So you guys will be there as well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think you should
Okay.
go to that show, Tess.
I think I'll actually be at that show, so that will be
That
fun.
might be Tess's
What?
first show.
Yeah, you'll get to experience the fun of trade shows and standing up.
You're
for
going with me though,
8
Paul.
hours of the day.
Yeah, the NAB New York I always try to go to because it's so easy for me. I mean, from here we take a 2-hour train and we're there, so
Yeah,
super easy. And I love New York.
yeah, that
It's
makes
my
it a whole
favorite
lot
city.
easier. It's a bit easier than catching a 16.5-hour flight from Sydney to Dallas.
I can
so,
imagine.
Yeah, slightly easier. We've got a trip. We've got a show in Sydney in July, so that's only an hour on the plane down to Sydney. So it's kind of our first one in a while where we haven't had to travel 20 to 30 hours just to get to and lug all of our stuff over. So kind of looking forward to that. It's the middle of winter, but it's better than traveling 3 days just to get here.
Yeah, I thought that was interesting because isn't SMPTE really more of a movie production style show? Or am
Yeah,
I
I think
wrong?
they do. SMPTE kind of look after a lot of the standards and protocols and stuff, so it kind of works for broadcast and movies and stuff as well. But it's kind of a broad sort of range. I don't think Madison aren't going to be at that one, are they?
Emily's behind you. I don't believe Madison goes to that one. They were at the show. It was in Melbourne.
Integrate, I think
Integrate,
that's the one they
yeah.
go to.
That was
Yeah.
the big one they went to, yeah.
Oh,
And-
do you want me to tell them that now? Breaking news! Well, Pat's apparently going to Integrate in Melbourne, so if anybody that's in
Really?
Australia wants to go, so that's Paul's shocked face. You just saw him then. So he's like,
I
"Oh,
wanted
okay."
to go to Australia. What?
Okay.
Well, there you go.
So sorry about that, Paul. I didn't mean to break it to you live on the show. But apparently
That's heartbreaking
apparently
news.
That's the case.
Well,
Yeah.
take care of him
Paul.
over there. I am a little upset because I wanted to go, but my wife would never let me anyway, so not at this point.
Not with a
very
newborn
upset.
at home.
Yeah. Fair enough.
Get me Pat. I need
Yeah.
to strangle him. Just
He wants to
kidding.
strangle you. we can do it remotely. I'm sure
Okay.
Tim will help us out with that.
Is there a
But
VMix
there's
strangle
the-
button?
Well, no, but somebody remotely poked me while we were at StreamCon, and it was actually Martin who's in the chat right now, Steadicam.
Yeah, we got that, Steve. Hey, Martin, do you need bail?
So Martin's in trouble with us. So he got Kenny to poke me via their Facebook live chat or live stream, and it just came out of nowhere and just scared the living daylights out of me.
It scared you?
Yeah.
You're
just
funny.
Some random guy. I'm sitting there. I was trying to work on a presentation. I was doing something, trying to troubleshoot something with somebody, and he's just his giant finger just comes in and pokes me right in the ribs. And yeah,
Understandable.
I'm not going to say I screamed like a little girl, but it may have been close. So yeah, it wasn't too great. But they have these beam things here that have the face like an iPad type size, and there's a webcam, and they're movable. It gets interfaces, so you can kind of go remotely to meetings and that type of thing. So there's all these people down there on these like mini Segway type things with their face on it, with a webcam going out, and you can chat to people from like Sweden and like the US and England and all sorts of stuff. So that's something pretty cool that we saw, that you can just kind of go up and chat to these random people. We're going to go back and try and talk to some people. And somebody has a candy dispenser above one of them, so they can dispense candy remotely for you from the other side of the world.
What?
So, yeah, that was fun. Yeah.
Wow.
So we're thinking about maybe getting one for Martin when he's over here. He can, zoom around the office on his little Segway while he's over in America and yell at us to...
More and more, we're going to see stuff like that in the crazy world that we live
Yeah,
in.
I believe it. And this is
Yeah,
the
it's pretty
type
fun.
of place to be to see it all.
It
Wow.
is.
Pat's going to Australia, so I wonder if he's going to get a chance to see
Oh,
you
so
guys. I think
sorry.
he should come and
He's not
and
over this.
see you guys. Man, I wanted to go.
Man, yeah, well, he's disappeared. Like, as soon as we mention it, he's gone. I don't know where he went, but...
He's off
yeah.
planning.
Yeah, we tried to do a live stream in Atlanta, but we did it so late, so we were troubleshooting as we were doing it. So yeah, it was a bit of a sort of a fun live show, and I actually managed to get Pat on there. So that was pretty exciting for me to have Pat on the show. But they both disappeared now. They were both fighting to see who could end up on the show, and now they've taken off. So I don't know where they've ended up. But
Yes. I guess you're
everybody else
learning
is
that
cleared
Pat
out.
has his ways with deception and craziness, I guess.
And he was in your wedding.
Yeah.
Yes, he was.
Yeah, I have a couple of stories, so I'll keep that.
Uh-oh.
Whatever happens in Atlanta can stay there. So we'll keep it that way, I suppose.
I believe it.
So Jim is there, and he is running a TriCaster. We're doing this call on vMix call because we decided that would really be the easiest way, because the new TC1 that Jim has set up there is really powerful. But we found out that you actually do have to still run a separate computer with vMix on it. Or no, sorry, with Skype on it in order to do a remote call.
Sorry, we dropped out for a second there.
Because we were wondering, how are we going to do this video conferencing between the show floor and us in Philadelphia?
Yep.
And we were thinking, well, the TC1 from TriCaster does have Skype built in, 2 channels. But you actually still need to have a secondary computer running Skype on it, from what I understand.
Okay.
And maybe Jim would have a better understanding, but I wanted to maybe give Jim a moment to give
sure.
us an explanation of kind of how the new TC1 is working, how the vMix is working, because he has a really good understanding of all that.
Yeah, cool. All right, well, I'll just transfer you over if you want to, go back to your studio shot, and I'll. Sorry to produce it remotely, but I'll switch over to Tony now, and yeah, so I'll switch over to him and explain to him what happened, and yeah, it's good talking to you guys, and
It's
we'll
been
see
fun,
ya
Tim.
around, I
Thank
guess.
you.
Thanks for dropping by, Tim.
See ya. No worries.
And that's all, folks. We appreciate your participation in the chat room and can't wait to host our next informative Q&A session. Your questions drive the conversation forward for live streaming professionals around the world. Until next time, happy streaming!
Fun show, though. Spontaneous.
Yeah.
Not really planned.
And Tim's really funny. I got a kick out of
Tim
him.
is so funny. I don't know where he comes up with it all.
I don't know.
He's just being so funny. And the post show starting soon. 5, 4. I love the new credits that just overlay.
Yeah, I do too.
And that's the post show. And the Lego Man is here.
Don't forget we have a giveaway. Uh-oh.
Whoops.
The famous Lego Man.
He is here.
There he is. Making his guest appearance.
Hey.
Hey,
how you doing,
Jim.
Jim?
How's everything going in Philadelphia?
We are having
Swimmingly.
Oh, well, I got a special guest.
fun. Ooh,
Who?
who do we have?
Just showed up. We got Chris from NewTek here.
Hi, Chris.
Great.
Yeah, I'll get him over here on the mic. Hold on a second. Hey, Chris, come on up.
Now, I'm guessing that little case there is a TriCaster.
The top camera? Okay.
Oh, Chris Burgos.
Paul, what's up, man?
Hey, Chris, how are you?
Doing great. How's it going?
Good. Tell us a little bit about the show. How's it going?
Show's pretty cool. Infocom sort of a different market than traditionally what NewTek's in. Although we are getting a lot of
You have the audio?
outreach from all different levels of people. At the high end,
The microphone
there
nice and
are
close.
companies coming in NewTek trying to talk about implementing NDI. And at the low end, we even have customers who love us and are diehards and are just talking about how they would love for so many more things to be interfaced with NDI.
Cool. Well, that is awesome. So how's sunny Orlando, Florida treating you?
Sunny, somebody didn't tell you about the weather because it has been raining, sir. I've
Really?
been here since last Sunday. I've been at Casida, which is a college sports event. And I think we've had every rain every day except for today. So we'll see. But otherwise, it's been nice out here. I just did a whole week-long tour up in Ontario and in Quebec. So it's a nice change of pace. A little bit more summer for me. So I'm digging it out here, and I can't wait to leave. Can't wait to also get back home to Jersey.
Well, if you could hold the microphone just a little closer, that's what people seem to be saying in the chat room. You can see can you see the chat messages there on the screen?
Yes, yeah, I gotcha.
Okay, cool.
Yep, I got returned.
So, tell us a little bit about the TC1 because I was interested. We've got the TC1 there at our booth, and from what Jim was telling me, it's connected to like every PTZ camera at our booth.
Yeah, so that's probably possible. How many PTZs do you guys have here? I'm looking at 1, 2, maybe there's a couple off camera as well. So yeah, the TC1 is sort of the next logical iteration in TriCaster world. So we built this awesome IP protocol, as you know, Paul, NDI, and we basically took what we were doing on TC1 and said, took what we were doing with TC1 and said, you know what, let's make it from the ground up based upon our IP protocol. So that means we can take 16 external sources in. In the case of the amount of cameras you guys have coming in, that should probably be everything that's in the booth. I'm looking, if we got 4 per wall, that'll probably be the entire booth. In this case, 16 channels external, so all the same things NewTek always does, 2 channels of video playback, 2 channels of graphics, 4 mix effect layers, and now we have a dual stream out, which is really cool. So if you want to go out to Facebook and out to YouTube, and typically you might be limited by Facebook's bandwidth constraints, well now you can go to YouTube at a different bandwidth and Facebook at a different bandwidth, or send 2 different shows out. The TC1 is phenomenal. We've seen a lot of people coming back to NewTek, a lot of new faces at NewTek. Everyone's coming out and talking about TC1 and obviously NDI, as you guys know.
So that's very interesting that you mentioned that. So Facebook is still asking for 720p as a maximum, correct?
Yeah, that's what we've noticed. There was, so 720, and then you get your conflicts where you're trying to stream out more than 720 into the other CDNs. whether that be YouTube Live or something more professional or something like that. And so now with the TC1, we can do 2 stream outs, but also we got all this feedback from Facebook users and Facebook themselves that said if the video is square, there's actually a tremendous uptick in the number of people who will view your video. So now in the TC1 stream encoder, you can actually set a custom resolution and make it square. So if you're really dedicated to getting connected with that Facebook Live basis, you can shoot square video for them, shoot 16:9 for the rest of the world, and really leverage both parts and integrate in social media. And as we all know, that's sort of like where things are going.
Yeah.
That is really cool, because I know I've had issues where, in previous TriCasters where we had to do, 1080p streaming to both of our multiple broadcasts, and Facebook seems to get kind of
starts
choppy.
to buffer.
Starts to buffer. So that's a
Facebook
great
has a lot of
feature.
issues with that.
So that's a great
I'm looking
feature.
at
and I love
somebody in the
square
messages.
thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Someone's looking at the message how many inputs you get on the TC1. TC1 will handle 16 external inputs. So total switch, I think it's 24, 16 and 2 video playback layers, 2 graphics playback layers, and then 4 mix effect layers. So that's the full scope of what you can do on the TC1. And things are changing really fast. I mean, I know you guys have been talking about, we talk about the PTZ cameras, and I'm wondering how long, we're waiting for that first PTZ that's going to have NDI native support. And I know Paul and me, I think you and I talk almost at every show about it, because we love PTZOptics, and we're just waiting for those first guys to come out and just be native NDI all the way through.
Yeah, that is the dream. That is our #1 customer request, and there's no secret to that. That is what everybody seems to want. Why don't you tell us a little bit about NDI? Because I know, most of us know, but I think there are some people here who may be a little bit unfamiliar with what NDI is, and kind of maybe give us the basics, and then tell us some of the cool stuff that you've been seeing.
Sure. So the basics of NDI are pretty simple. It's auto self-discovering protocol for IP transfer of video, audio, tally, and metadata. How it works is relatively easy. If a device is NDI enabled either at a software level or hardware level, as soon as it's on and on the same network as another device, we can very easily select and pull audio and video across. So it's very robust and network efficient. So over a single gigabit connection, we can pull 16 sources into the into the TC1, and then we have a dual 1 gig on that device so that we can do 4K 60p. Obviously, the number starts to increase as you get into the 4K realm. But yeah, so NDI is this open and available protocol. It isn't, there's an SDK for it on our website. So if anyone wants to develop for it, there's no licensing, there's no upfront costs, and you can connect any devices available over NDI. If people want to test it at home, we have a free tool pack on the website. Just put it on 2 laptops and you'll see if NDI would work. And as far as cool things, we actually recently in NewTek, there was a DJ, I think he was out here in Florida, who basically used the SDK and configured it with his laser show so that he can run all the lasers and light configurations through NDI and sync it up with the video playback. So when he, was throwing up the music videos along with the tracks he's spinning, he has all his laser show in tune with NDI. So that's like something that NewTek would have never imagined to do.
Wow.
Traditionally, we're very broadcast orientated, but it's really growing. And at a place like this, like Infocom, we see lots of new iterations where there's LED companies coming and talking to us and saying, we want NDI on the controller.
Here's a question that came up in a live broadcast I was on a couple days ago. Are there any video conferencing companies that might be thinking about implementing NDI? Because it would be interesting to see, like Skype, have NDI on it so that all of your TriCasters and stuff working natively with applications like that. Have you heard anything like that, or is that something new?
Directly, I'm not directly involved in the business acquisition for NewTek of NDI. So there's a gentleman by the name of Michael Cornett. He actually just recently got appointed to being one of the heads of NDI as far as business development. So new companies will be talking out and reaching out with him. Our third-party support is sort of its own beast. So these guys are all developing their own applications. So it's entirely possible that any video platform could adapt NDI and utilize it without even talking with NewTek. Just download our SDK, use it for your own purposes. And then on the flip side, we've actually seen a lot of companies like Microsoft, like Wowza, and Viz actually want to do collaborations with NewTek, and that all happens because NDI is sort of exploding.
Yeah.
Wow. So it seems like NDI, it's a tool that everyone can use, but it seems like a lot of advanced power users. So I would consider someone using an SDK, a software development kit, and really getting into that. I would consider them kind of an advanced power user. Have you been surprised at how many power users are out there now that you've given them all these tools?
It's actually crazy the number of instances where we can't even talk about them because these guys develop NDI workflows explicitly for their own little, basis, whether it's guys in the broadcast market doing these like unique news workflows of acquisition of content and things like that. And again, they develop their whole own workflow, leverage NDI. And you're right, Paul, there is a lot of power users. On the ease of use side, though, if you wanted to just see if NDI works, that free tool pack is super robust, and you can start to do things with NDI. And then if you get that idea that says, okay, well, if this can work, maybe I can code NDI, it actually doesn't take long, especially if in a software environment. On the hardware side, I think that's always been sort of where things have been taking a little bit longer, but we have a lot of companies working with us in those spaces as well. But yeah, it is crazy the number of like unique instances of, some, like you said, power user, adapting the NDI protocol and then saying, okay, I'm going to do this custom mix. One that I always use is there was this guy who was doing live theater, and his first 2 rows are for the hearing impaired. So what he did is he developed an NDI workflow to pull the audio and sync it up with titling, so that the hearing impaired in the first 2 rows can watch the play and also see the text that's being sung by opera singers and things like that. So there's all these new adventures for NDI. And NewTek is really happy to be a part of it, and it's cool. And one of the things that we really rely on is that this is open and available. There's no licensing. This is something that you can adopt without having to spend any money. A little bit of dev time could be immensely successful for you in the long run.
Wow. And so you've just taken this amazingly good, well-developed and supported platform and basically opened it up to the world. Joe Husson is asking if NDI is LAN-based or if it can be used by the WAN, and Joey Barron's saying it's just LAN. Is that correct?
Yeah, so actively right now, it is only on the LAN. However, so consider that NewTek is developing on 3 fronts now. We're developing on hardware, we're developing on software, and we're also developing NDI. So one of the things we're looking at in development of NDI is network efficiency. The biggest issue with the WAN is, as network efficient as we are in the broadcast space, transmitting that over the WAN is going to be a big problem. So look forward in the next couple of months to people developing NDI efficient, so NDI being more efficient in the next coming months. So we've already had 1 new release of NDI, which happened a little bit earlier in the year, where we could go from simple networks to complex networks. Well, in that same vein, we're going to continue to work on NDI, and all that support rolls over to the SDK. So once new features are available, people who are developing with us can access that kind of stuff. So the answer today is it's not that easy, but in the near future, we'll have it more efficient to make those things more possible.
Beautiful. That is awesome. And I know over on our end, we're continually upgrading our firmware, working with NewTek, and most of the new things that have come on our Gen 2 line, if we were to ever one day have an NDI camera, are going to make it super nice. For example, power over Ethernet.
Yes,
super low latency video sending is something that's new. So with power over Ethernet, NDI on board coming, hopefully soon, that could just be a game changer, I think.
I think on both sides of the world, it's going to be crazy. For myself, so there's been some companies that have sort of released press releases about integrations with NDI, and none of them have been native. And one of the things is I always notice that day, if someone makes a press release, my phone is off the hook. People are calling me, asking me on integrations and stuff, and I'm looking forward. I'll be very happy that day that the PTZOptics guys, you guys drop it, because it'll be the first time I can say, yes, it's native. Not have to answer all these in-between questions and say, well, they do support NDI in these ways. No, when you guys are there, I think we're both going to be really happy, and I look forward to it.
Me too, and thank you, Chris, so much for stopping by the booth. How far is our booth from the NewTek booth?
Our booth is probably like a 5-minute walk that way. Actually, surprisingly, your booth is actually really well done here, and there's tons of coverage that people could see the signs. Our booth has sort of been criticized relatively harshly, so going into the future we will be making some changes. So I also think we had an issue that one of the pamphlets has our number printed wrong. So
Ooh.
there's been a lot of people who are trying to get to us, and then they're walking around the floor, come to us, oh my God, you know, I can't wait to, you know, I've been trying to talk to you guys all day. And the cool part about it, like I said, this show is awesome for us. We're seeing not just people who want to buy NDI, people who want to get into NewTek. We're seeing people who want to develop at this really high end, especially the Infocom space. Thanks for having me out here, Paul. I think I'm going to get going, but it was awesome talking with you guys.
I appreciate it, Chris. Always good to hear from you. Thanks for joining.
Bye, guys.
Bye.
That was Chris Burgos, live from the InfoComm Show floor. Chris is one of the NewTek outside reps for the East Coast. He is from New Jersey, and I all the time get to meet with Chris, so that was fun. What did you think, Tess?
Yeah, it was really good to hear right from the source, and I'm still learning about NDI, and it's just been exciting.
So we're going to go back to InfoComm. Here we have Jim Davis. How are you doing, Jim?
Hey, Paul, how you doing?
Doing great. Thank you for being our dedicated TriCaster switcher here and really manning the ship over there.
Yeah, our whole producer over there.
You're our producer this week.
That's what I did. So it worked out really well. We had we have actually quite a few cameras around the booth, and we're bringing them all in. Let me kind of switch some for you real quick. So we actually have different cameras all over the place, looking at different things. And these are all coming in using NDI, and they're coming right out of your camera into my laptop, actually, that's running NDI Connect Pro, and then we're bringing the video out through the production switcher of the TriCaster TC1. And then that goes out the TC1 into the vMix system, and we're connecting to you using vMix call. So it worked out really easy as far as getting everything working. I can even do right from the TC1 control surface. I can control your cameras.
Nice.
It's pretty cool stuff.
Oh, so you brought a little case with the TriCaster inside.
Yeah. So
Very
it's
nice.
actually a rather large case.
It is a large case.
I did shoot some. I don't know if you want to look at this, but I did shoot some video of the booth earlier yesterday, and we can kind of roll that so you can kind of see what's going on here, and then
that would be great.
So let me go ahead and bring that up here, and we go.
Play that as soon as we have time.
Okay, so first thing we're looking at are the HSI Immensive 3D screens. Is the larger, I think it's a 20 by 12, and then the smaller one where the avatar characters are being played. I think I played that video yesterday, but if you guys want to see that, we can play that again too.
Sure.
But so that's the area over there by the large 3D screens, and then let's see. I probably took a little bit of time. I didn't really edit this video, so we're just kind of walking and. There's the big huddle cam screen.
These have been really a big hit for our booths, haven't they?
Yeah. It doesn't. You can't really see how impressive it is unless you're actually here with the 3D glasses on.
Yeah, and Emily was telling us. Sorry, go ahead.
I was just saying. Here's our staging area where the couch and where we do some interviews and whatnot, and then. We're going to walk around. Here we have the vMix system right next door to it, and we have some 12x and 20x SDI PTZ cameras on the wall there. We're kind of working around the booth, and there's Pat. And there we go around this side where we have the Wirecast system. And so everything is represented in your booth, which is very cool.
Yeah.
So, and then right next to that we have the huddle cam, and I'm not sure what you guys were running on these back screens here, but I think one of them was a tracking system. Is that where you track people walking around? Right. Yeah. So, but that's kind of a tour of the booth, and what was going on with it. So,
Cool.
yeah. So let me, actually I can run presets too. I've set up a bunch of presets in the TriCaster so I can just quickly go to different positions. I had shots set up for on the green screen and then on
Yeah,
each
they're
of the
so
chairs and yeah. So,
Wow.
but that's what we've been doing here, and it's been a lot of fun. You guys
Thank
are real
you.
nice to work with.
Oh, well,
that's
so
good
are
to
you.
hear.
Thank you for taking that video for us. That's exactly what we've
Yes,
been looking for
we
all
needed
week.
that.
Yeah, we wanted to see that, especially with the 3D screens there.
Oh yeah,
Fun
those
stuff.
are just amazing. Oh, you want to see that Marley video? Do you think you guys want to see that?
Sure. We do have an NDI enabled camera announced, says Brian Coate.
Do we, he says.
Oh, do we? Oh,
Not quite yet.
Do you
it's
want
not
to?
announced yet.
Okay. Oh, okay. Yeah, we lost you there for a sec, but so that's kind of what we've been doing here.
Very nice. Well, I think it's fun to give. You know, I know a lot of people, especially with NAB, you know, they can't get to these shows sometimes. We just like to give people a little peek into the show, feel
Yeah.
the energy. You can hear, like, your mic, even though it's probably a really good mic, you can still hear a lot of background noise and chatter because it's
Yep.
just so much energy there on that show floor.
Exactly.
Great booth
But
tour.
yeah. So, does anybody have any questions out there? I know you have a lot of people in the chat.
We do, and we also have a giveaway we have to run in a moment here. So I
right.
completely forgot about the giveaway.
So, what are we giving away today, Paul?
We're going to be giving away the brand new Chat Connect Pro, which I'm not sure if I got to show you yet, Jim, which is actually working for Facebook now, but it connects to the
Okay.
YouTube and the Facebook APIs and allows you to
Okay.
create a JSON file for vMix, but also so that you
Alright.
can use the data sources. But it also creates a web browser input that you can use with OBS, XSplit, the TriCaster, or Wirecast, and you can bring in the live chat messages into your video production. So
very
that's
cool.
it's free for all PTZOptics customers, but a winner out there will get that plus the iOS app, the brand new PTZ Camera Control iOS app.
Very cool. So, are we doing that now?
We are. There's 2 minutes left on the countdown here. So we'll do that. And
Pull up the chat. Let's see
Let's pull up the
if we
chat
have any
here.
questions. My computer died, so I can't read them. So sad.
um,
Is that a Video Link Road case, Jim?
Well, that's a DVS Direct road case.
DVS
Ooh.
Direct Road case. Nice.
And we build road cases, fly packs. We actually build them right there in Du Bois, Pennsylvania.
Oh, really? Very
Oh,
cool.
yeah.
very cool.
What other
Does
questions?
the TC1 have a multi-quarter?
Yes. You can do 4 channels ISO quarter in the TC1 directly, and then with NDI ISO quarter, you can do 16.
Wow. How can I be entered to win that bundle? The Gadget Guru, you have about 60 seconds, but you have to go to ptzoptics.com/giveaway, and you can see here
There's
there's
multiple
about
ways to enter. You can do. There should be just a click to enter.
11 seconds left here until the giveaway.
ptzoptics.com/giveaway. You can make it.
But yeah, that's actually how we're pulling in these chat messages with Chat Connect Pro. Because vMix does not, even though vMix does support Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter, they don't support YouTube currently. And I asked Martin about that, and he's got so many things on his plate. It's not something that's going to be added to vMix 20. So for at least, I know he'll add it soon, but Wirecast doesn't support anything except for Twitter.
Yeah. So it's definitely useful for
you know-
Wirecast users.
Do you know if anybody's doing any direct camera control functions for the PTZOptics cameras? I know there's some built into the web interface.
There's some built into the web interface. There's open source control software. There's an SDK. The SDK is written in C, so C++. I am actually actively looking for a developer who knows C, because the SDK is great and all, but we want to build a couple different apps in C, which can be compiled into Windows applications. So if anyone's out there as a C developer, we may just use a freelancer, but I'm looking to hire someone full-time to work on stuff like that.
There's another interesting thing in the new TriCaster software that caught my eye. What this means or where it's going, I don't know, but under PTZ control, you know, we have PTZOptics and some of the other camera manufacturers. There's a new entry says NDI. So does that mean we're going to be able to actually do camera control using NDI? Who knows?
I think it's safe to say that must be what they're planning on doing if it's there. So yeah, because I mean you have IP control already. All right, it's time to do the giveaway. Jim's giving away some good information though.
And now it's time to announce this week's live technology giveaway winner. As noted in the contestant rules, all winners must be present in the chat room to claim the prize, or a new winner will be drawn. Drum roll, please.
Yay!
All right.
Here we go.
Here we
One
go.
winner. Oh look, you can not allow repeat winners.
That's a good idea for us. Tom Yoakum.
Yoakum. Happy
Yay.
story. And we'll go ahead and let him win.
Give him a chance in the
Give
chat.
him a chance in the chat.
We normally give it a couple minutes.
Yeah, give him a couple minutes here. So Jim, Brian's asking, can you have audio only on an NDI source with NDI Connect?
If you can get it, yeah, basically it works just like SDI embedded audio. So if you have an audio source, like if you bring an audio from a
Tom's here.
laptop or
Great.
something, yeah, I'm pretty sure you can do that.
Okay. Great. Answering questions for the community, the live streaming community. That's one of the big value adds watching this show, is that we get so many people who know what they're talking about on our show. Cool. Congratulations, Tom.
Can't even see what I'm typing.
Hopefully you have WordPress, because that is a WordPress plugin.
If not, you could just create one just so that you can pull it into your streams.
It's really easy to set up.
Yeah.
And we're live from the 2017 show floor. Patrick Kirby is cutting in.
Hey, Pat.
He likes to just cut in.
Yeah,
like a
But he
tunnel.
doesn't want to actually talk, so
Yeah.
what are you doing?
They want you
Make
to
up
talk.
your mind.
Oh wait, why do they want me to talk?
Because
There's
you're
some
coming
questions
in.
for you, Pat. There's
Hi,
some there's some
Patrick.
questions for
We
you,
heard
Pat.
that you've been misbehaving.
Oh, everyone says that. It's not true.
Someone's asking,
I'm the
what
best
do you
behaved
do at
vic-
PTZOptics?
What do I do?
Yeah.
Good question.
He travels to trade shows.
No, I don't know. I mean, I'm sales account management, really.
Okay.
I help get everybody their cameras.
He's also our multilingual sales accountant.
Yes, he is.
Account manager, not accountant.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't do
Which is
accounting.
very helpful.
Hey, Kyle. How's it going, Kyle? I'm reading the messages. This new message.
It's cool how you
you
can
got
see
here
them up
going on.
there, right? We just gave away
I
the
know.
plugin.
I know that is kind of neat.
So
Throws it
what's
up.
been going on at the show for you? What's the coolest thing you see, and how have people been responding to our booth?
I mean, people like the booth. We're definitely getting questions. You know, and a lot of our distribution partners are bringing over some of their dealers, which is nice. We always
Great.
appreciate that. You know, I you don't get to walk around much when you're working
Yeah.
the booth, so I haven't
No.
seen much of the other stuff. The only thing, you know, one cool thing that I saw was somewhere over there. It's like one of those old, like flip signs, and it has like it's like interactive. So it's like, you know, it flips when you like walk by it and move, and it like takes your, you know, your form factor and stuff. I don't know, it's cool, but I don't know what it's called.
It's hard to picture. What's an old flip sign?
Yeah.
Yeah, what is that old flip sign? Oh, sure.
Does it just spin around like a barber
You know,
sign?
No. You remember like how they used to do it in like train stations and
Oh, that kind of stuff.
Stuff
where
like
they
that.
Kind of, they rotate kind of. Like, you ever been to like Penn Station in New York City? Oh, you've never been to New York City?
Yeah.
Oh, well, you're going to have to go. What would be the best option for a vMix control surface, says Brian, and I would definitely say the X keys, but also an iPad. You know, you can just take an iPad and load the iPad software. Remember we had that? And connect right to vMix over the network. So, I don't know. It depends. I like the network option, but I also love these X keys. You know, the real buttons. Can't ever rely more on real buttons. Or nothing's better than a real button.
Pat, we got a question if you speak Spanish.
Yeah, I speak a little bit of Spanish here and there. It's been a while. I don't get to use it very often, so.
We have quite a few people via Facebook that reach out speaking Spanish. That's probably why you get sometimes I'm like, please contact Patrick Kirby.
Oh, yes. And also Scarhoy has some really, really nice vMix. And Brian, please send us your iPad app. We're definitely interested. Or Joey, please send us your iPad app. We would love to check it out and do a review for you. Yeah, the Akai Professional Selesky, we have that too, actually. Just any MIDI controller, any USB MIDI controller will work. So yeah,
there's no shortage of options.
Yeah.
Come to New Mexico. What?
Yeah, drop by New Mexico on your way home, Pat.
Just drop
All right,
by.
yeah, I'll just take a quick left.
The
Swing out to New
exact
Mexico.
opposite direction.
Yeah, no, I've never been to New Mexico, but yeah, let's go. But other than that, yeah, I mean, it's been quite busy. You know, we have the DotWorks sign up, so slowing down.
Yeah,
you know,
it's
what time is it? 2 o'clock, 2:30. So it's pretty slow right now. Hopefully, gonna get
And the last
an opportunity to go walk around.
Yes.
Yeah.
Well, thanks for spending some time, Pat. We had Tim from vMix. We had Dan from X Keys. We had Jim from DVS Direct. We had
Patrick Kirby. We had Chris.
We had Chris from NewTek.
Wow,
and
we've had
Patrick Kirby on.
We've got a full lineup today. It's turned out to be a great show.
That is not bad at all, and that's what happens at these InfoComm shows.
Yeah, that's why we do these streams from InfoComm.
You guys know our core team now.
Yep.
So thanks, Pat. We're gonna roll the credits here.
Thank you, everyone.
Yeah.
Thank you, everyone.
Don't forget to subscribe if you haven't already, and like this video if you want to see more.
If you're looking for the chat plugin, you go to chatconnectpro.com, and you can go ahead and purchase it. It's $5 and $10 for the Facebook, YouTube one. And check it out. How you doing, Jim? We're gonna wrap the show up.
I'm doing great. Yes, that's it. It's about time to call it a day.
Thank you so much for all your hard work.
Not a problem. Not a problem. It was a lot of fun.
We're going to have you every year, Jim. This was so much fun having you.
If he'll have us.
I really appreciate it.
Oh,
One last question.
Absolutely.
Great.
Joey's saying, okay, Paul, make a preset that has a different pan, tilt, and zoom. Make it slow so I can see the order. So I don't believe at this point there is any speed at which you can do this, but I'll go ahead and show this. So this is one. And oh, you know what? I gotta change it to, instead of having a fade, it needs to be a cut. So what he's been asking us is the order in which it pan, tilt, and zooms when. So here we go. So what was that? Pan, tilt, and zoom. Pan, tilt, zoom. It looks like it does them all at the same time, doesn't it, Jim? I mean, it's zooming and panning and tilting at the same time. Like,
yeah, it kind of does them in a certain order, you know, depending on what it's doing. It
looks like it's moving first, panning first, and then zooming.
Yeah, the zoom is the slowest, right? Because it's always at the very end, it's like finishing its zoom.
Yeah.
So the pan and tilt is faster than the zoom. See that? So.
I know when I was playing around in presets, and when you set that speed control to like 50%, the whole pan, tilt, zoom process goes at 50% of what it normally would, which is kind of cool.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, so you can set the PTZ control. Okay, right, then I have to show this then. Okay. So.
Ow.
Oh, you okay?
Yes.
Let's just
falling apart over here.
This is the desktop capture. This is the studio camera here. We go to PTZ control and see the speed button here. We're going to turn it all the way down. And it moves real slow. And we'll go over here. And we'll zoom into the table. Doesn't seem to be affecting the zoom.
It's a gorgeous table.
Oh look, position speed. Look at that.
Fantastic.
Create update. Maybe this is what we've been missing. So let's go from here. So that goes at the speed that was. Oh, look at that. It's
There's
slower
your spaghetti.
Oh, people can see my spaghetti now. Oh no, Joey! I didn't want anyone to see that. And then look. It's much slower. You know what? And that was a feature request in the vMix forums. Look at that.
We ask, they answer.
Wow.
Let me put the URL. Can I have control really quick?
Sure.
I'll put the URL. Chat connect pro.com. Now I can't see what I'm typing, so I don't know if I misspelled something.
So if we cut. And then
Okay, good. That's spelled right.
So play around with that, Joey. It looks like you can definitely do what you're after there. We got to roll the credits. It's been a long day. It's a Friday. It's time to
Woohoo!
take off and
I have
enjoy
girls'
the
night
weekend,
tonight, so.
everybody. Oh, you Tessa's girls' night. And
I'm
that's
going to
it.
Disneyland.
We appreciate your participation in the chat.
Thank
And
you.
Jim's going to Disneyland.
Yeah.
Disney World?
Oh, because did you bring your kids,
Disney
Jim?
World.
Disney World?
Do it.
they're
Have
all
a great
grown up.
time.
You're just doing it for fun. I will go to Disney World until I'm 88. I'll tell you. I love
Same.
Disney
Well,
World.
we
Duh.
always come down. We always come down in the RV and stay at the campground. It's just an incredibly relaxing environment.
That's
Yeah,
awesome.
It is. It's so much fun.
See you guys later.
See you, Jim.
Thanks.
Bye, everybody. There's no post show after the show.
There's no post show? Wow. I'm really happy with that.
Yeah, I thought it went really